Don't think shit, stink pink gators. My Detroit players, Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, air night. Papa been school since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruce, cruise who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us. Screw us, who us? Yeah, Papa and Pop.
And welcome to the OnBase podcast, not with Mookie Betts, with Mike and Mike. Mikey, how's it going?
Man, it's great to not be in the same room as Mookie Betts right now. He is. No, I'm kidding.
This is OnBase. I am Mike Powers. This is Mikey Hughes from Chicago. We are part of the Give Us a Shot network ecosystem, but also the Divide Live. You can find this show on the Divide Live podcast. Just search OnBase and you'll find us and Mookie Betts at the same time.
Yeah, if Mookie pops up first, just scroll to the second OnBase and we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Mike, how you doing, baby?
Doing good, man. Spring training underway. Saw Bregman rip an absolute moonshot against Jameson Tyone in Mesa, Arizona right now. Or the other day, I guess I should say, but they're there right now. It's cool, man, to see the boys back, pitchers and catchers report. Obviously, like, our times now, man. I mean, football is over. We got, NBA All-Star break, so everybody's going to be paying attention to everything going on with the World Baseball Classic. It's going to be a really, really interesting month, I think, for just the baseball world as a whole, because we got a lot going on right now in the WBC.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. You just shared that breaking news with us, the first round of the divisions and stuff like that. And you got the first Team USA game is against Brazil. That's pretty freaking awesome. I got family. My brother's wife is Brazilian. My best friends are Brazilian. And, honestly, that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's something where Anna, my friend, I introduced her to the game of baseball, and she was trying to understand it. It's a lot different. Like, I remember the first time she ever saw a hockey game. She's like, oh, it's soccer with sticks and ice. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same thing with basketball. Like, oh, you're just putting the ball in a net. Baseball is a whole different vibe. She couldn't. She's like, wait, they're switching now. They're doing this. Why was he allowed to run? And how come he didn't run and all this other stuff. So it's a lot of cool to see that, but also now to, for them to have some pride, some Brazilian pride into this World Baseball Classic. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm waiting. I'm itching for the day that Ireland throws their hat into the World Baseball Classic. I think they'd have some guys, man. I mean, Shea is obviously probably going to be at the front lines of that. But other than Shea Langoliers, I don't know who else is claiming to be Irish in Major League Baseball. Jeff McNeil. Anybody with the MC in front of their name, I guess
you just got to go after them. My favorite thing in the world to do is promote this family-owned Irish restaurant pub, and it's McDonald's.
Yeah, love it.
It's like, oh, we're having Irish food tonight. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I get it, bro.
No, man, it's it's cool. You saw Juan Soto walk into spring training. He was all vibes, pointing out Mr. Med, just having a beautiful day. You could just see he was ready and geared up to go.
Yeah.
The Tops 75 just got released. We're going to talk about that today. Dude, there's so much going on. The one thing that I'm so tired of right now is a word that I never heard before. Actually, I'm lying. I just never heard in this volume.
Sure.
And that's Hamate bone. God ham it. The amount of people that are going down with hamate bone injuries is insane. And Lindor is one of them. And it's, every person you talk to gives you a different timeline of when their player is going to be back. So the Mets have announced that Lindor has a broken hamate bone and he'll be back opening day. However, there's other guys out there. Corbin Carroll says he likely won't be there for opening day. Jackson Holliday has a broken hamate. They're saying it could be up to 16 weeks, likely to have surgery. He did have surgery and will likely miss opening day. So, I don't know, man. What's your feelings towards the hamate bone? It's a known baseball injury.
Yeah.
And I got a spin that I want to share with you.
Yeah, never have had the I'm going to say inconvenience, I guess, of having to deal with a hamate bone. Didn't even know that was a thing. And that just shows my ignorance of injuries. Unless it affects me, I really don't know much about it. I can tell you all about hernias and sports hernias. I'll tell you what, but never.
I will say, I've taken batting practice until my hands bleed before.
Yeah,
So
sure.
like I've had sensitivity in this area.
Oh yeah, or like
Yeah.
sometimes you get shelled by a pitch that kind of like comes a little bit in, and you kind of get like the shockwave effect in your hands, and you feel it. But like to actually break a bone in your hand, never have had that in my life. But it's definitely unfortunate, man. Now we did hear that Roman Anthony is going to be filling in for Corbin Carroll in the WBC. I think a lot of us were kind of waiting for that Mike Trout call. And it's not happening.
It's never happening.
It's not. I was like, if he's not going to fill in for an actual outfielder, it's unfortunate, man. But I will say, as an Italian kid, to see Roman Anthony go into his second year and first full season in Major League Baseball and already be representing Team USA, I do think it's incredibly dope. Like, the Roman Empire is here to stay. I'm really excited about it, man. I was talking to Chef the other day, tried to get him on this morning. I know he's got a lot going on right now, but talk a little bit about Roman. But man, I mean, that kid is just so electrifying, man. He's talking about how his favorite movie's The Town and how he loves everything about Boston. And he's like born Sunday dinners, Italian style. Like, this kid is going to be the next Mike Piazza, the next Anthony Rizzo to really just carry the torch. I would have, we talked about it. Team Italy does not have any jerseys for sale on Fanatics. I would have appreciated Roman Anthony going with Team Italy, but when you see that lineup, you can't deny it. But to get back on the guys, man, I mean, Jackson Holliday, really unfortunate because I do think he had a really strong second half last year, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to put together this year. As far as Lindor, I just feel like not to like let things creep into your head, because I don't want to do that to you on February 15th. But it is kind of crazy how it's all kind of like gone through with everything going on with the World Baseball Classic and Team Puerto Rico. First, it was he didn't want to play because of the elbow issue, and there were some things going on with that. He just kind of wanted to be precautionary, and now there's a whole situation with his hand, and I'm just like really hopeful that Lindor can start this season healthy, because I do think he does struggle a bit in the early months of the year. There are a couple players that are just like that. Like Anthony Rizzo couldn't hit in the month of April, and that's just what it was. Whether maybe that's because he's from Florida and he's coming to play in Chicago. Same with Lindor. You know what I mean? You're from Puerto Rico and now you're playing in New York. Like, sometimes the cold just gets to these guys. It really just depends. But I definitely do want him to have a really strong start to the year. And this is just one of those things where it's like, it pisses you off. Like, I remember Seiya Suzuki had the hamstring and the groin injury during the WBC 2 years ago. And he didn't get back into full form until like June, July. And that was like insanely frustrating, because you know how good these guys are. So it always sucks when guys start off kind of like rocky.
Yeah, and look, it's obvious it's from the knob of the bat and the bone protruding, a little piece of bone there. But I have a theory, and I don't know about the rest of the guys that got nabbed with this. I just know Lindor added another bat last year, or late 2 years ago, and that's that torpedo bat. So switching from that to your normal bat, I got a question, like maybe that routine caused the hamate bone to go down. The only other funny thing in this whole situation is if he was gearing up for the World Baseball Classic right now, could you imagine the amount of fans that would be losing their mind?
Oh yeah,
like absolutely just blaming, first Edwin, now this. So the fact that Lindor sat that out, granted, I think he definitely shared that he wanted to play for his country, and rightfully so. He has every right to do that, and unfortunately, insurance would not allow that. Bad Bunny did come to the aid of both Lindor and Correa and said that he was willing to pay the insurance. However, both teams and both of their agents said, don't do that. Like, it's a sticky situation. It's a slippery slope. And we appreciate Bad Bunny's gesture, but do not play if insurance is not allowing you to.
Yeah. And shout out Bad Bunny, man. Really doing whatever he's got to do to represent Puerto Rico in the right way, man. And I think it's really dope to kind of just see his name in the headlines, not only in the NFL, but a week later in Major League Baseball. Like, he's a little bit of everywhere right now. And I think
WWE, man, that's where he cut his teeth, man. And The Undertaker was in his music video, Ric Flair. He's the only undefeated wrestler in WWE right now. So it's tremendous. Like, the stuff that he's done in pop culture and just really putting Puerto Rico on the map. in a way that we haven't seen in a long, long time.
Can I be ignorant though, just for like a second?
Sure.
What the fuck does Carlos
You're
Correa?
from Chicago, so you're used to. No, I'm just
Yeah, well, you asked the question. You know what I mean? Like, let's look up career earnings of Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa, career earnings. Sorry, guys, I went to Chicago Public School. It takes me a while to spell things. So Carlos Correa's earnings are approximately $170 million.
Would have been a lot more too
if he didn't
fail a bunch of physicals.
Man, how many physicals did he fail in a month?
It was wild. It was
over,
wild. Like
over under days. 2.5. Like, you know what I mean?
But
my only question is, you've made over $200 million in your career. Do you need the health insurance of the World Baseball Classic to play a baseball game, brother? Like, first of all, what is really going to happen to you during this game? Like, that you're so worried about. I understand everybody wants the health insurance, but like, dude, it's a 2-week thing. Like, you're representing your country. If somebody called me today and said, do you want to go play for Team USA? No health insurance. I'm going out there even if I'm the ball boy. I'm going out there even if I'm holding somebody's bat or somebody's seeds or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You got to think of all the variables that come into that contract, though. His agent's family getting paid a percentage.
Yeah.
His team getting paid. It is a business. Although it's you look at the player, you forget the subdivision of where that money needs to go, right?
Yeah.
So I think if Correa didn't already have injury issues and, like I said, leave money on the table because of his physicals and situations with his leg, I definitely think that, we wouldn't be looking at this that much. But with that said, if Lindor got gassed up, geared up for the World Baseball Classic, and his bone decides to snap, like, we'd all be snapping as a fan base right now.
Oh yeah.
So
100%. And that's like, you and I talk about that all the time, about like, how can we make the Pro Bowl watchable again? And like, the reality is, in 2026, you just can't. And I think
you really can't.
With the amount of money that's thrown into it, like whether it's the NBA All-Star game, like I did look up this morning who is in the dunk contest for the NBA. Right. Oh my gosh, man. And then you think 10 years ago with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine and what they were able to accomplish on that beautiful night. And it's like, that was one of the, if not the greatest dunk competitions we have ever seen ever. And we're at the point now where like we're rooting for Mac McClung to win his 4th in a row. You know what I mean? And like, that's like something to me where you're just like, what happened to like the big dogs coming out? Like, where's Ja? Where's Zion? Where's all these guys that we know can just jump out the gym? You know what I mean? And it's like, those are just things where, like, because of how much money is involved and in stake, not only with players, but in the game, like it's just like, for them, it's like, I'm not about to tear my ACL in a dunk competition and miss out on $200 million. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't blame them, but I think as fans, man, it's something like, kids nowadays grow up with the Pro Bowl game and the dunk contest, and it's like, they don't care. But for us, like, it was everything.
Yeah. Times have definitely changed. Money has changed everything. I do think that the NBA should take a legends approach to it, especially with 3-point. The 3-point contest was great last night. I'm not going to act like it wasn't. I enjoyed every moment of it.
That was fire.
Yeah,
that's something that I think will never change, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to tear your ACL shooting a 3-pointer. You know what I mean?
But like, get some of the old guys. They can still hoop. Some legends out there. Like, the recently retired players out there. The 5 or 6 of them. I think that'd be a lot more fun. Like you said, like it just hasn't really been there. I think that, our expectations as a society and entertainment also is through the roof. Like, you can't just have a normal situation. You got to remember, like, I don't know, especially with the home run derby, for me, you're really highlighting and showcasing the next guys up, right? Mm-hmm. So it's got to be a little bit of blends of rookies and legends. And, for the home run derby, I think they do it right. But they're also, MLB is doing the home run derby X, where you could see former players perform, on a stage that is all about dingers. So, and Todd Frazier did that for multiple teams last year. And I hope he continues to do that because it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and last basketball thing we're probably going to talk about on the OnBase podcast. But I did want to give I did want to give a shout out though to Damian Lillard, man. Tore his Achilles less than 10 months ago and comes back and wins the 3-point competition last night. And it was incredible to see him out there. It was incredible to see him do what he does best. Really just an absolute dog, man. Like, he's got that killer mentality. We've all known that for so long, but I think a lot of people always questioned, like, is he a winner? But if you're able to come back and do something like that, and some people will be like, well, who cares? Which it's just a 3-point competition. Like, the amount of mental strength that takes to go back out there and feel confident enough to go back out there less than 12 months removed from that surgery, less than 10 months removed from that surgery, is actually insane. Like, that's a 12 to 15, 18 month recovery for most guys. Like, you have Tyrese Halliburton, who did the same thing. He will not be seen at all this season. And that's just something for me where, like, you got to give him his love and give him his flowers where they're due. And I love seeing Chet and all the boys kind of just like really excited, all the young guys just really excited to see him out there, just rooting for him, man. All of his boys were there. Like, it was really dope to see that. And I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. And that recovery time is, dare I say, elite. All right. So speaking of elite, we have a guy who just came to spring training in Florida, Bryce Harper, and he's got some words, and I'm going to share that real quick in a video. So, Mikey, we'll talk about this on the other side.
Not really. I mean, I don't get motivated by that kind of stuff. You know, I for me, it was kind of wild, the whole situation of that happening. I think the big thing for me was, you know, when we first met with this organization, it was, hey, you know, we're always going to keep things in-house, and we expect you to do the same thing. And so, you know, when that didn't happen, kind of took me for a run a little bit. So I don't know, you know, it's part of it, I guess. You know, it's kind of a wild situation, you know, that even happening. Obviously I didn't have the year that I wanted. Obviously I didn't have the postseason I wanted. My numbers weren't where they needed to be. I know that, and you know, I don't need to be motivated to be great, you know, in my career or anything else. So that's just not a motivating factor for me. You know, for Dave to come out and say those things, it's kind of wild to me still.
Shout outs to John Clark for that. He is elite with asking questions throughout Philadelphia, and I'm proud to say I've golfed with him before. Shout outs to Swinging and Ding It. John Clark asking the questions everybody's been asking. The only thing I will say about this whole great comment, you know, makes Dave Dombrowski look dumb, right? But Mike, if it didn't bother him or motivate him, why'd he make a t-shirt about it?
I think, first of all, Dave, your ass is grass. And that's just like what it is. Like, I don't think this was a self-motivator. I don't think this was a conversation. I think this was a statement. And I think you and I went into this offseason saying, oh man, like Harper's going to take that personally. He's going to, you know, he's going to use that as fuel, and he's really just going to go out there. We could have not been more wrong. And I think hearing that statement from Bryce, it is a fuck you to the, not the organization, but to the guys in the front office. And I think he looks up from home plate and he sees the suites and he sees the front office, and he probably is like, fuck you, watch this. You know what I mean? And like, sorry for the language, but like, that's the Bryce Harper mentality. You know what I mean? It's like, I kind of want to make that meme. You remember the one, man, who was on second base when Bryce is rounding second against the Brewers, and he's just staring at the second baseman? I forget who he was looking at. I don't think it was Willie Adames. It was whoever their second baseman was at the time. You got to put Dave there, because every time that guy rounds the entire bases this year after he hits a home run, whether it's in Philly or not, I know he's going to be looking up into that press box, because with everything going around in Philly right now, by the way, there have been proven players, pitchers, who have pitched drunk, off LSD, or off of drugs. And Castellanos on an off day in a stadium that sells over 30,000 beers a game can't crack open a cold one to watch his boys play some ball. And now you're telling me, not in the dugout, but pitchers have played off LSD throughout the history of Major League Baseball. Like, allegedly, that's not allegedly. No. Like, the guys.
Well, he admitted it afterwards, but I'm sure they didn't know he was on acid while he was doing it.
Sure.
You know,
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. But like, you know what I mean?
But he also threw like a no-hitter, so nobody's gonna question that. It's like, yo, your boy's tweaked up, but man, can he pitch right now?
No, I mean, how many guys have admitted to being hungover during games or absolutely wasted? And like, my thing is, if it's an off day, it really just depends on your skipper at that point, like whether or not like what the code is. You know, like would Joe Madden have cared as much in 2016? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Probably not. But like for me, I think like we used the word slippery slope earlier today, and I think the Phillies culture is headed down a slippery slope right now.
I agree with that.
Your captain is pissed off at the GM, president of operations, whatever you want to call him. And then you have kind of some awkward conversations. I'm a good friend of Kyle Schwarber's camp. I'm a good friend of everything he does with Schwarber's Neighborhood Heroes. I know how he speaks. I know how he presents himself. And when they interviewed him, asking him questions about Castellanos not being invited to camp, it was awkward, man. It was like, and it's like, I felt like he felt like it was awkward. And like, that's a weird vibe to have at camp.
Yeah, it's twofold, right? So they had all intentions of releasing what happened that day when it benefited them. So in other words, if they were able to remove Casty and trade him, you know that hit piece was ready to go, right? The reason why he's gone. To villainize him if they were able to trade for him. The fact that he got in front of this is tremendous, but also shows that the Phillies are only protecting themselves. They're not really protecting the players. It's kind of like when I tell people HR works for the company, not for the employee. Like, and people don't realize that. Like, yeah, they're worried about the owners and the executives and protecting them. They're not worried about the sole employee. That's not their job, you know? So when people start to realize that, they kind of realize what the Phillies have. And the Phillies have done a tremendous job, unlike the Mets, of keeping stuff out of the press. So the Mets have leaked things out, things that you shouldn't hear about, you hear about, right? We just saw it all winter, right? Whether it was Pete having issues with the team, this team not jiving with this, Nimmo and Lindor being on different political spectrums caused this whole rift. Everything coming out like somebody had diarrhea to the mouth and was just spewing everything that happened in that clubhouse, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, the squirrel incident where they said they thought they saw a squirrel, but really it was Lindor, you know, knocking out McNeil. Like, it's just been crazy.
Yeah, total misunderstanding on that one, by the way.
So if anybody brought a Presidente into the freaking dugout, the whole world would have known about it immediately. Also, SNY cameras are 10 times better than the Phillies broadcast cameras, so they would have caught that in real time. Yeah. And the other thing was, it was definitely a shot at Philly Rob's rules and how they're loose in one area and strong in ones they shouldn't be. And I think it was Castellanos' way, because he has spoken out about ownership. He has spoken out about, hey, why can't we fire owners? They could fire me. Well, if they're not performing, their team should go up for sale, you know, and they should have to fight to keep ownership. So there's been a ton. But like I said, I think the reason why people have gravitated to Philly was strictly because they were protected. You know, what only things that got out was a team-driven thing. I think this changes that. And I have one more clip from Mr. Bryce Harper that I want to share, and then we'll get into that.
Did you read the Castellanos letter the other day, and what did you make of it?
I didn't read it. Got a gist of kind of what it said. Obviously, Cassie's done, you know, great things for this organization in big postseason moments, and you know, been a great guy for us to be around, and just didn't work out. Obviously, you know, he's in San Diego now. We wish him the best of luck, and you know, just go from there.
Look, I'm gonna say this before we say anything, Mikey. You want to crack open a cold one in the middle of a game? Slam Diego is the way to go. He can get slammed every single off day. San Diego's got the vibe. Iglesias headed over there. Now he's currently a free agent. I think we talk a little bit about that in another episode. I know a lot of people are hoping he makes a comeback in Queens. But no, man, I love that part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when unfortunate circumstances happen to a player and the entire clubhouse kind of pretends like that guy never existed. And for Bryce, the captain of this entire ball club, one of the faces of baseball, to really just go out there and say like, nah, man, Cassie's the man, bro. Like, this is a guy who is so family first. You know what I mean? Like, you see all the videos with his son being present at the games. Like, this isn't some guy that just got shit-faced in the middle of a game and is like a horrible human being. Like, this is a good dude. And this is a guy who produced for them.
He's an emotional
for a long
player
time
too.
Yeah. Like,
very emotional.
God forbid the guy wants you to, like, I don't know, take steps to win a ball game. You know what I mean? Like, But here's where I kind of want to pivot it and ask you, does Bryce Harper in the game of baseball at this stage of his career command enough to get Dave fired? And that's really where I'm at. Or will this boil over to a point to where either Bryce wants out or they have to have legitimate conversations about just parting ways?
Yeah, I think this definitely is the worst I've seen the relationship between the players and the front office, right? Whether it be ownership, whether it be the GM. This is definitely a slippery slope, like you said. And I'm excited for it because, like I said, Queens always has this kind of nightmarish shit. And now to see Philadelphia kind of go through it is like, one, like, this is great. Like, I know the radio people out there are going to take this and beat a dead horse over it and just create division, hence the divide. And the Mets are sitting there pretty right now, man. Lindor's Hamate bone, God Hamate, heal up. Soto's in good vibes. We got a crazy amount of people like just around this team right now. Devin Williams just announced that, and Mets remember Devin Williams as the guy who gave up the 3-run home run to Pete Alonso, in the NLDS. But Devin Williams is now trying to protect that pitch by adding a gyro slider and adding a cutter. Incorporating his cutter and adding a gyro slider this spring to protect his changeup, to prevent a situation where Pete Alonso is allowed to hit a 3-run home run. And this time, if that ever happened in the playoffs, it would be the World Series. So shout outs to Devin Williams for that. But yeah, to get back onto the Phillies real quick, it seems like they got a lot of work to do, man. They got a lot of press to fix. They didn't really bring anybody in, which is also exciting. They've subtracted, and look, Casty, like, if managed right, he could be an asset to any team, and he's going to be great he's going to be a great Padre. Like you said, I thought he was going to go Milwaukee on us. The Brewers get it. Hence the thing, I saw Miami as an option. Everybody was writing that in the comments when we made our note to Casty. I would have loved to have him, dude. We just announced, and I saw the stars aligning. We just announced Soto was going to left field. So I was like, cool, put Casty in right. DFA him if it doesn't work out. It's $700K. Yeah. Like, it's nothing.
I will say, though, if you know, Rhys Hoskins and Casty in the same clubhouse for the Milwaukee Brewers would go. I mean, the advertisements would go crazy. But
go nuts, dude.
It's something to me, though.
Speaking of beer, his wife would order beers for all the fans during the Phillies post.
Rhys Hoskins would be like, if you want to come to the Brewers, man, we'll order you some beers. You know what I mean? Like, but I do think there is something to be said about Cassie, and there's a legitimate conversation that needs to be had. There is a reason nobody traded for him. And it's not just because they knew that at one point they were going to release him. Only the Padres were interested, and it's kind of like, hey, man, let's just take a chance on him. You know what I mean? I think Cassie's performance over the last season and a half has definitely been subpar for the Phillies.
It's like -1, I want to say.
It's pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. And this is a Cubs midseason legend. I remember when we got him.
I was thinking that.
Alex Avila, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we got them. I forgot what pitcher we gave for him, but he was
Cincinnati legend too. Like, they loved him in Cincy.
I loved him in Chicago. I thought he was incredible. We wanted to re-sign him.
And the fans love him in Philly. Don't get this twisted. Like,
the production just isn't there, and respectfully, like, I'm gonna be careful when I say it because I don't want to, like, I love the guy, you know what I mean, but you're not good enough to be drinking beers in the middle of a game. Sometimes you're that good. Like, if Shohei decided,
even at his peak, though,
even I don't think he's that good. You really gotta be that guy. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say anybody on the Cubs or even anybody on the Mets can crack open a cold one. Like, you really gotta be that Shohei level guy. Like Michael Jordan. Remember the one video Michael Jordan had an interview where he's like, yeah, man, I got super drunk right before the game. I'm seeing 3 rims, and I said, F it, I'm gonna aim for the one in the middle. And then he dropped like 40 points. And everyone's like, Mike is like wasted right now. And it's like so hilarious to me to see like a conversation like this come up, because you're like, that's the beauty of baseball, man. Like, I don't know. It's really cool to me to just like have those conversations, because you're playing in a park that I worked at Wrigley Field for 4 summers. And when I worked facilities grounds crew in the morning, we had the option of staying for the game to make extra money. But when you stay for the game, what you got to do, there's these giant dumpsters. And because Wrigley's in the middle of a community in Wrigleyville, there is dumpster trucks in the alley outside of the game that are just waiting for you to show up with these giant buckets. I'm talking like dumpster-sized buckets of beer cans. And my job was every inning or every 2 innings to walk around, grab one of those giant dumpsters, carry it to the dumpster truck full of whether it's 312s or whatever drink there is. They're all empty cans, Mike. And I'm doing it throughout the entire game with a bunch of my other buddies. And that's the conversation where I'm going to sit here and say, you're going to tell me you could sell over 30,000 beers or drinks in a game, but a player can't crack open a cold one when he's not even playing. That's bullshit. And it's the same conversation about why players can't gamble, but you have a DraftKings casino in the middle of Wrigley Field. Like that's that dynamic where you can't have your cake and eat it too. And Major League Baseball has to find that middle ground. Like I said, there were players, Babe Ruth. How many times you want to bet Babe Ruth was drunk off his ass in the middle of
hot dogs and beers, baby?
Hot dogs and beers all day, doing a cake stand.
He made it the tradition that it is. Like when I think baseball, I think hot dogs and beer, and that's Babe Ruth. Like he's the third thing in there. Yeah, for sure. Dude, I think there's a time and place, right? Like where you could have that. The Clubhouse has been known for cigs and, ripping cigs and Budweisers. I mean,
October alone, you see them celebrating, smoking cigars, all types of stuff. Red October.
Game 6 in '86. Keith Hernandez will tell you he left. After his at bat, he left, went downstairs into the clubhouse, and he sat there in the trainer's office and ripping a cigarette, having a Budweiser. And he sat there because he was like, "Oh, there's magic in this seat. Like I'm not getting up." Yeah. Like, and so as they're coming back, he doesn't rejoin the team because he's very superstitious. So I mean, I don't know. There's optics. There's kids watching too. You got to keep that in mind. So
but if you're in the dugout and you got a Gatorade cup with a beer in it, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm sure it's happened. It's definitely happened. I'm pro Castellanos because the fact that the Phillies sat on this report and they were waiting until it benefited them to leak it, and that's pretty messed up because the players did what you asked and didn't report it. So shout outs to Casty for getting his version out first, kind of diluting the fact that the Phillies were going to run with this, and I'm sure their piece had to alter because of Castellanos' comments, right? So they were going to villainize Castellanos on the way out, probably to his friends, to his fans, and maybe his teammates. So if I'm Bryce Harper, I'm pissed about that, right? Because now I know when it doesn't benefit them, if I put my foot in my mouth, I'm gonna have an issue. So I don't like that move. What I do like, and this is the last time Juan Soto's been back with the Mets for like 3 hours. He's already has a video where he's so excited to come into the ballpark, points out Mr. Met. He's all smiles. And he was just asked by Laura Albanez, a great friend of the show, an amazing writer, and just somebody who covers the Mets tremendously. She just asked Juan Soto about the culture, as Mendoza called it a corporate clubhouse culture last year. Soto said the way to fix this is to have fun. Forget about all the drama and everything. Focus on the game and win some ball games. Like, just have fun, man. It's a kid sport. I fucking love that. I love that so much. And like, honestly, like they need to do that. Like, it can't be a business. We're not going to show up and not have fun. Like, I don't care if they lose the first 20 games. Like, they have to have fun on that field because the fan base vibes off of that. They love it. They are so loyal, even when they shouldn't be. The Met fan base. It's insane. Like,
you know what the best part about being 0-20 is, right, Mike?
What's that?
The chance to go 1-20. You know what I mean? The chance to go 2-20, 3-20, 4-20. Like, like you guys, I will give you credit because I know you like the Mets fan base. You guys are there from April to October, and I think like that's the thing where like I remember the year you guys went to October and really went on that deep run. The first half of the year was like unwatchable, and there were you and I had conversations where it was like, are these guys gonna figure it out? And for them to just have those glue guys like Iglesias, like we talked about, and others who are really just able to put it together, man. Like, I think you guys did a great job this offseason, and it's no disrespect to Nimmo. It's no disrespect to McNeil, and it is definitely no disrespect to Pete Alonso because that was its own case in its own story. You know what I mean? But like, you got out the guys that were unwilling to just have fun. You know what I mean? Like there's some guys that you ever seen remember the Titans? It was that white kid's name that just was unwilling to have a good time. This guy was just he wouldn't block for Petey. He wouldn't do anything. When they were all singing in the locker room, he looked pissed off to all hell. Like, fuck that guy. And they kicked him off the team. And it's because, like, hey man, whether we got differences or not, like when we're on this field, man, we got these jerseys on, like, you gotta just be together. And if you're not, you gotta fucking go.
Right. And like, honestly too, speaking of the fan base, and I wasn't one of them, like, I'm not going to act like I wasn't confused by everything going on. It tugged on my heartstrings not having the polar bear there anymore. I'm not going to lie. Obsessed with first base, obsessed with the position, loved how he handled it. Loved, the fact that there was a lot of, we were in that universe. Like, we were one of the first people, our network went out there wearing polar bear hats. Todd Frazier coined the nickname Polar Bear. I think he's a great teammate. I loved him. I think he did bring fun. He would talk about the beer showers they would have to celebrate milestones, stuff like that. The pelvic thrusting in the middle after they would win, was one of his things. You saw him humping like a thing, and he was a goofy guy, and he won a bunch of home run derbies and really kept the Mets in it when they shouldn't have been. So I was bummed about that. Diaz, like Steve Cohen talked about that this week, saying, like, I don't know how we missed. Like, for him to say that the Dodgers, he's like, our offer was very similar. We treated him like, him and Edwin like had a chicken parm dinner once at a fancy restaurant, and Stevie told him, like, hey, I want you here forever. Like, number one. Number two, I feel like they have bonded before. So and everybody's saying, a lot of the fans are saying that he's going after the obvious trophy. He's trophy chasing now. Yeah. Like, do you really think they're going to three-peat? I mean, I get it. Like, the odds of them doing it is probably better than most teams to win one. But like that, you're putting a lot of eggs in that basket. So I don't know. Like, with Edwin, that kind of sucked. And I think that's the one they're more mad about getting away than any.
Yeah. Would you say this, though? And I thought about this last night because on my drive home, I'm just like, man, it's just random baseball thoughts, Yeah. Say Shohei Ohtani doesn't play in 2026 for whatever reason. Do you think the Dodgers are still the favorites in the World Series? I think
not, dude.
I think
he's
still
that
heavy
polarizing. Like, he's made it into like a LeBron James type game where it's like one-on-one type situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, also, like, if he doesn't decide to start throwing again, I don't know if they repeat, right? So, like, if he's not on the mound and just taking control of these games, I don't know. I mean, dude, look, it's like Thanos over there. They got the best closer. They got Freddie.
That's what I'm saying. You got Freddie, Mookie, Yamamoto, all of them.
Yeah, it's wild. It's an all-star team. Like, I'd love to see them have to play, and I guess you can't do it unless it's a video game. Like, I want to see LA play the World Baseball Classic, Japan and USA team.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I think they'd beat them. Like, I really do believe that they, like, the only, like, we could talk about it another day when we talk more WBC, but like the only difference is they got Skeens and Paul, or Skeens and Scoob. But I mean, hell, I mean, they got Yamamoto, they got Shohei, they got Roki, they got Snell, they got Glasnow, they got all these guys. Like, it's deep, man. And like, I say that because even if Shohei didn't play this year at all for the Dodgers, I still think they'd be heavy favorites because they still have 4 to 5 top 20 players in baseball. Yeah, it's like wild. It's crazy.
It is. You know what I'm crazy about right now? Top's 26, man. Series 1 just dropped, the 75th anniversary. The coolest thing about it, man, is, like, first off, I know we're gonna go back and forth, share some stuff. I got one open pack right here. My favorite thing about this is this box right here. I've not opened it yet. It's the holiday pack.
Yeah.
So they're eggs this time. So me and my daughter, we do the ornament, like, and we do the advent calendar, and we just buy the holiday packs randomly. You could get like Shohei in a Santa hat. It's been going on. So the fact that now I could get like a Shohei maybe in a bunny suit is hilarious. So I am gonna open one and then keep the other 2 for me and my daughter to open together. Of course. I told her that. But dude, yeah, these holiday the holiday I just love that it's now an Easter egg. It's
I gave my girlfriend's nephew the Easter egg yesterday, but I bought the Easter egg. I was Valentine's Day shopping, and then I saw an Easter egg, and I was like, well, Mikey Hughes deserves a little something. You know what I mean? So I bought one. And I got these two out of them, which I was like very surprised because I bought a bunch of the tops 25, tops 26, 75.
Right.
And I got some cool stuff, but nothing totally crazy. You know what I mean? Not yet, at least. It's still early. But out of the Easter egg, I actually got a really cool, I believe it's Titans of the game, Roman Anthony, and Roman's top 2 favorite player in the game right now. This one is super dope to me. I thought it was like really cool to like kind of see just like, first of all, a rookie Roman Anthony card, but then like a fancy one like that. And then the last one I wanted to show you, it's nothing special. It's just a green refractor, but because he plays for Seattle, I think it's such a dope card. I got the Julio Rodriguez.
That's J-Rod. That's sick, dude. No, definitely.
This one's hard. That one's really tough. And I love
that, actually. So far, I got the Griffey profile, Juan Soto. I think it's like pink or purple. I'm colorblind, but dude, this is dope. I'm so excited for this. One of the first few packs I opened, it had this. I also got a Jonah Tong rookie card. Okay. Now, the cool part about this is I'm hoping I get a bunch of these. One he actually signed in Mandarin. It's a 1 of 1. So I will be chasing down that card, man, because he is such a cool vibe. Canadian born. Just a very, very excitable player. Like I remember last year when they told him that he was going to be able to pitch again. He was like, it was like telling it was like real life rookie of the year. Like when he was told he was on the Cubs, like he was that excited. So as long as he keeps that excitement and wins some ball games, like he's going to be loved in this city for a very long time. So Jonah's pretty cool. And that's a nod to his grandfather. He said he had to learn it. It took months. To get it right, and he's still not happy with it, but his grandfather said it looks fantastic. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm going to open this while you talk a little bit more, and like I said, I'm going to open that egg too, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. The egg is dope. The egg is super dope, but while you open that, kind of getting in that conversation, I think I'll just start with it. Guys were chasing in 2026. Guys were going after. I'm really excited about Connor Griffin. If you are looking for a guy to chase in 2026, it's Connor Griffin. Like that is the next Paul Skeens, just the hitting version of him. He's starting shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Might start an indie ball this year just because of like service time and everything going on with AAA. But man, Connor Griffin's that guy that I think I'm going to be chasing a lot. PCA, always chasing PCA cards because that's our guy. I think the price is only going to continue to go up. When he had that he had the second half slump last year and the prices went down. I was like, buy, because I know it's coming up again. You know what I mean? But that's really what I'm looking at. Another one, Bubba Chandler. I don't know if you're a big Bubba Chandler guy. Pittsburgh's kind of where I'm at this year. Really just fully investing. I do believe they're a wild card team this year. They're going to be a lot of fun with Ozuna and them. But like Connor Griffin, Bubba Chandler, PCA, and Roman Anthony. Those are the guys I'm kind of chasing this year. I got a lot of faith in Bubba Chandler. One might say he might be the ace of the Pittsburgh Pirates one day soon if Paul Skeens gets the boot at some point.
This has been the year I promised myself that I use technology to make sure my collection doesn't just go to waste and I know what I have, right? So I'm using the Ludix app. It's fantastic. Dude, you just scan the card. It tells you how much it is. You can put in, the rarity, one of what or whatever, and it just puts it into your collection. So you have a digital collection and pretty much like a phone book of the cards you have. So
what is it called? The Ludix?
Ludix, Ludex. This is not a paid endorsement. It's just my favorite freaking app right now.
No, I
did get a Mookie Betts hollow, but outside of that, nothing.
Nothing Mookie really on the OnBase podcast right now. Everybody check it out,
ladies and gentlemen. Mookie Betts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mookie Betts. Mike Powers, Mike Hughes on the Mookie Betts OnBase podcast. It's incredible.
The search engine is gonna think that this is his show. The amount of times we said Mookie Betts, right?
Mookie Betts.
Good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah. We're gonna get served papers from Mookie Betts.
That's the only. That sucks, man. He's the Boston guy, right? Freddie Freeman is the Braves. Ohtani is the Angels. Like that team, Diaz is the Mets. I don't care what anybody says. Diaz is is a New York.
Kyle
Met. Like,
Tucker is an Astro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's wild, dude. It's just wild. It's hilarious. I mean, shout outs to their ownership for doing
is there
thing.
who is Will Smith the only guy they drafted, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's
I mean,
possible.
they've done great on the, Japanese signings and stuff like that, obviously, because of Ohtani. But
it's got to be Will Smith. And Paez.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Paez.
I mean, look, and they even know, like, their utility, like, it's a sick lineup, man. It's just sick. They know ball.
That's sick. How much did that run you?
I don't remember because I bought it like months ago when I was in LA. I pre-ordered it. So also I don't want to tell anybody. Yo, but these colors mess with me. I'm like colorblind, so
yeah.
that
one's blue.
I'm gonna go with this one just because I think Peyton would want the other two.
That one's baby blue, kind of like a Eastery vibe.
Yo, this is dope though. Like,
Mike, can I ask you a question, Mike? Just like Mike and Mike talking. Can you see your eyes, bro?
What?
Like, cause you got blue eyes. Like, can you see the color of your eyes? Like, if you look in the mirror, can you see your eyes?
I'm told they have more other colors in there, but like, I'll give you an example. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but the Jets and the Bills played.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell the difference between the two teams. One was in green, one was in, I think red. And I couldn't tell the difference between them. When the colors are separate, I could almost tell the colors off. But like, I've wore like a white shirt, or what I thought was a white shirt, and it had like pink stripes through it, and I couldn't see it.
It's like pinstripes or
like
tougher.
Yeah, like navy blue and black, like you couldn't tell me there's a difference. Like, I don't care what anybody says, so that messes with me. There's a few things that I like. It's not like I'm not like an old school television.
No,
like,
So
but it is it gets harder and harder to the point where, like, with that Soto thing, I had to ask my wife, if it was pink, purple, or another color, because, like, I don't know. So that's what I'm always afraid of with all the refractors and stuff. Like, I'm like, this just is a normal card.
Oh yeah, you just dump it. You're like, it's like it's really a case hit. Like, oh man,
that's pretty dope.
Do you ever pull a case hit, Mike, out of a box?
Not yet. No.
I pulled a Mason win with my guy Soto, which obviously, like, he's a Cardinal, so I let my guy Soto keep it. But that was like my first one, man, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Actually, I pulled one of like 20, and it was worth so much money, of that scumbag that touched kids. I don't even remember his name anymore.
Franco?
Yeah. Wander Franco. I was so excited for it. Like, obviously, shame on him, but it was worth a lot.
Yeah. Did you sell it, or you kept it?
I kept it because I was excited. Like, I'm like, hey, this is my first. And,
it'll build up in time.
Right. And Matt Strom, I just hit Otto Kemp. Like, this must be like the Philly area of this thing.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it sucks. So far, we're mid through this egg, and I'm not happy. Just so you know.
I got a Class A one time though. It's pretty cool, but that obviously
Rodon
didn't turn out too well.
Kyle Teal, catcher.
White Sox. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'd hang on to that one.
Put that over here.
They're very you're just like me, bro. I'm like, here's my throw out pile. But you know what I hate?
I'm not gonna throw them out.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm not that guy. I see so many guys, man. They go to the card shop and they just throw out the cards they don't want. And I hate that.
Yeah, at the National, like, the garbage can was filled with just cards, and it's like,
there's kids that'll take those cards, dude. Like, they love those cards.
Tristan Peters rookie card. Any thoughts?
Who is that? Is my
you're the best guy to do this with, Big Dumper.
Tristan Peters, Big Dumper. That's the man. I'm going to, I'm going to Seattle this year to visit my cousin Bailey.
I love it.
I've never been. I'm really excited about it. I want to see the Big Dumper. I want to see Julio. But I here's my thing, Mike. I have to go on a Brian Wu start. Okay. I am a Brian Wu connoisseur. I am a Brian Wu fan. Brian Wu,
I love that for you.
He was my fantasy team, and every single time that guy got me a point, hit him with the woo, like, just like have a good time. Like, Brian Wu, I would have so much fun if Brian Wu was in the Chicago Cubs jersey. I would literally be the happiest guy in the world. But while you're ripping them, man, can I vent to you, bro, about how I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something. The sexiest swing I have seen in a Chicago Cubs uniform in years. Alex Bregman, full Cubby blue, just ripping it, man. And Chef had like a really cool a post the other day. Jameson Taillon was getting absolutely shelled on Twitter because Alex Bregman took him deep during spring training. And he's like, guess I'm deactivating my account now until midseason because everyone wants to say I'm terrible. But it's obviously he's just joking around. You know what I mean? He's having a good time. And he's just trolling everybody. But I thought it was so cool to see Bregman out there, man, wearing Cubby blue. Bregman said the sky is the limit for Pete Crow Armstrong. And when you hear that from a Hall of Fame third baseman and a guy who's won championships, like it just brings me so much joy to know that like a guy like Pete not only was given to me by one of my best friends, Mike Powers, for a few months of Javi Baez and 2 thumbs down and a missing earring. That's all you got out of that. But I definitely like just love watching PCA grow. Like I remember chasing his cards the second we got him, and I was looking for his first Bowmans, and I drove all the way down to Iowa to go cover his first AAA game where he hit a grand slam in the middle of I think August or September, and like it was like the coolest weekend of my life. And like to see him just a few years later become this guy that's like on Team USA and really representing the city well in the face of Cubs baseball. Like one, I just want to say thanks, Mike, for such an amazing player. And 2, like I'm just so proud of this kid for like really becoming PCA.
Yeah. Well, your organization definitely grew him up too. Like if you remember a few of those spring trainings, you know, stuff like that. There was questions in that clubhouse, maybe, and some of it has to do with jealousy when you're going up the ladder that is Major League Baseball. But dude, his interactions with the fans, even when he was here in Philly, tremendous. Like he's just a good person, and I hope he stays that way. I hope everything goes that way because you guys deserve him. Shame on the Mets for letting him go. I get it.
I remember when you told me, man, we really need an outfielder. That's what you told me this offseason. And I was like,
yeah, we had one.
Could have had one.
Yo, this is a cool card, but it hurts my feelings. It's National League leaders, and it's Kyle Schwarber with 132 RBIs, Pete Alonso with 126 RBIs, and Juan Soto with 105.
Yeah,
this could have been the most epic card ever if Kyle went back to the Cubs and these 2 stayed in Queens. Yeah. But
well, even that conversation,
I like 33% of this.
the beginning of the year, the off season, we should say, there were thoughts of Kyle going to Queens and keeping Pete. Like
no,
all 3 of those guys, that's over almost 400 RBIs, are all Mets. Like that could have been the case, man. Like I don't know. I still think about that. I still wish Schwarbs would have ended up in Queens, man. I think it would have been really cool.
Oh, and Alex Freeland. Speaking of somebody that's homegrown, I think a rookie card. So assuming this comes out of there, unless they're signing rookies, or at least you could get a little credit for Alex, right? And
they got Dalton Rushing or something too, the catcher.
Corey Seager. This is cool. This is like a green leaf thing.
Oh, that's a cool one. That's the one. That's like the one I have with the Julio.
Yeah, Troy Milton. Oh, we got Mr. USA who's not playing.
Oh, Corbin Carroll.
Oh man, Mike, I gotta send you a picture of this. It's all red, white, and blue. Tell me they did not think the fact that this exists and he's not playing is hilarious, dude. This is like Captain America.
Heck
in a nutshell,
dude. Do you think they're gonna do Topps Team USA?
Yeah, Topps now will definitely have all those moments. I think they will. It's Series 2 will have a lot of World Baseball Classic stuff in it. They have to.
That's the chasers, man. That's the one.
Yeah, I think especially like if USA, who's the favorite, wins, I think they'll pounce on that. They'll definitely pounce on that.
So 2 years ago, while we keep yapping while you pulling them, or if that's all of them, we had the Trey Turner moment. And Trey Turner was kind of that guy that took over for Team USA, really put the team on his back. Who do you think is the guy this go around that really just surprises everybody and takes over?
Dude, that's such a great question. I don't know because we were talking about it the other day. Like people like Paul Skeens, right? We were talking about, and it's hard for the pitchers because they're still not at peak, right? It's easier for position players to kind of get gassed up and play the right way. But if I had to put a thought out there, like I said, I would love Clayton to go like 8 innings strong. Kershaw just like
throw him against Britain. Throw him against Britain.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, just keep. Yeah, exactly. Like Brazil too. Like whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So in that aspect, I'm gonna take the guy that we forgot. But dude, PCA could become like this. Could be his David Wright moment, where David Wright became a national known player because of the World Baseball Classic. He was the original Captain America. He did a tremendous job there. It was weird watching him get coached by Joe Torre, which was nuts, and them saying like, "Hey, that guy's a hell of a ball player." So yeah, I think this should put PCA on it. I know he's very well thought of, but the casual fan probably not as much. Like you and I have an emotional attachment to him, but this could really catapult him into a national attention and maybe a couple like I don't know. I think of like he likes to dye his hair or something. Maybe we'll get like a
red, white, and blue, a big star. Yeah, he did the blue star with the bleached hair for the Cubs. I thought it'd be cool if he did like the red, white, and blue version for them. But I think I don't know, man. The most patriotic guy on this team, without a doubt, is Paul Skeens. Like Paul Skeens, like lives for this moment. The guy said if he wasn't playing baseball or when he retires, he might retire early from baseball in order to join the military because he still wants to serve his time. He played. He went to college for Army before LSU. He was a catcher there, and he had absolute moonshots. Like I would really like Paul Skeens to get a couple at bats during this whole tournament. I think I swear the guy. I don't
think that's gonna happen, but.
No, for sure.
Nuts.
But I keep having this reoccurring dream, man. Paul Skeens strikes out Shohei to win the World Baseball Classic championship.
Okay. And I reverse angle of
exactly what happened to Trout. I mean, it's kind of like the the Redeem Team version of this. And I think,
redemption. Yeah, for sure.
Paul Skeens is going to use this like respectfully because I love Paul and I've interviewed Paul and I could call Paul whenever, but I know he knows this is his only championship window for the 2026 season. You know what I mean? Like this is your shot, man, to show everybody how good you are and to represent your country, to represent the way he goes about it, man. I think Paul Skeens is going to take this opportunity and run with it. And I think we're going to see a masterclass by Paul.
Yeah, I mean, the team looks sick. I did take bets on Team Puerto Rico and Team DR to win it all, Dominican Republic.
Really?
So yeah, I did futures on them. It was plus 100 for Team USA. That's not fun. Like you could literally bet them in a game and get that kind of odds, right? Against Japan or something.
You bet Puerto Rico though too?
Puerto Rico is plus like 340. And DR is like plus 500 right now. And I think Puerto Rico actually has better odds now. Like I think you get them almost at like plus 475.
DR's got a squad too.
Like, they do. Yeah, I'm excited.
Plus 500 is crazy for that.
Yeah. So I got it early and probably has gone down now that you've seen Team Puerto Rico kind of fall down with the list of players that aren't playing. Cal Riley and Team USA Alex Bregman. Like, it's just sick, dude. You know, obviously we're not talking about the 7-footer in the room, Aaron Judge, the captain. Like, he could just, so I don't know. Team USA at plus 100 makes a lot of sense. Paul Goldschmidt, like just people that are just randomly on this team that can perform, you know, and kind of need it too. Paulie needs something to go right in his way. So also, I don't know, man.
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know how we can do this show together and not talk about it. I didn't put it on our topics list at all for that reason. But Mike, did you see the 3 Grand Slam game the other night in college baseball? College baseball is back this week if anybody cares or wants to know. But this kid, let me find his name because it was the craziest circumstance I've ever seen in my life. Baylor's Tice Armstrong had a night. 3 Grand Slams in one game by Tice Armstrong. Absolutely insane. The 3rd Grand Slam walks off the game because obviously it's college baseball, so they have the mercy rule. But, Mike, it's a kid's dream at any level to hit a grand slam. This guy hit 3 in one game for over 10 RBIs on the whole day. That is, to start the year, if you didn't know Tice Armstrong, you know him now. And like what are your thoughts about that as a whole? Because I know you didn't watch it, but it's just like, to me,
bro,
why
after
are we
2,
not
I'm walking him.
Yeah,
like I don't understand why they're still pitching them. After 2 moonshots, I'm walking you the third. I'm not letting you beat me. I don't care. I'll take 1. Like, there's no way. And I get it. Your back's against the wall, and you're probably playing the percentage. He can't do it again. He can't do it again. And he just kept doing it. I mean, it's just for me. Like, I would have pitched around him. I don't know. I would have got him swinging at junk. I'd love to see the pitch sequence. So now I'm going to go back and watch it. College baseball doesn't get its flowers enough because of the fact that you have so much else going on. Caribbean leagues, winter ball. Like, there's so much in baseball.
Spring training, right when it starts. You know what I mean? Like, it's
so
rough.
it's just. It's tough, but dude, it's also it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. I mean, how do you, every time you ask me about these minor league guys, man, it's because we watched them in college. You know what I mean? Like,
there's 2 different avenues, and bro, but that's what I love about baseball. There's 2 different avenues to get there, right? Where like with basketball, it's a little bit like you have to go to college, like or like there's not
or
much,
be the greatest European player ever. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like there's not much of a second option, and with baseball, it's. You could go right into the minors, or you could go into college, and I like the players that come through college.
Yeah, I love it though, man. Like that's crazy. Like, you being a guy who has played the game, we understand. Out of 10 tries, you're going to fail 7 out of those 10, and that
easily,
pitcher,
and 7 out of 10, you're one of the goats. Like
exactly.
But the craziest 70% of the time.
The craziest part, if you're that pitcher for the 3rd grand slam, you're thinking. You fail 7 out of 10 times. He's already got 2. There's no way he gets all 3 of them right now. And this guy is like, fuck it. 3 for this guy. This guy might miss every single game after this. And that is perfectly fine because he just had his career moment. Like, I want to say this, and I want to look into the camera when I say it. Tice Armstrong, congratulations. You just got drafted by a Major League Baseball team. You might not play another game the rest of the year. Somebody somewhere is going to draft you because of this night. Like, and that's just it, man. Like, it was sick.
But make sure you go home and you ice that Hamate bone. Okay?
Please ice the Hamate bone.
Tremendous, Mike. Happy Sunday, bro. I appreciate you being on here with me. And, yeah, man, it's exciting. I don't know. I look at first. I didn't like the flower on the Mets spring training cap, and now
I like it.
It just makes me think. Warmer. It's coming.
It's coming. It reminds me. You ever go to Lids? You ever go to shop at Lids and you can get like the custom like stitches on your hats?
Their own, like,
it just looks like they went to Lids and just added a flower on.
I like the hit. I like the lid. That one little logo part I would have done away with. But any final thoughts, Mikey?
Spring training's here, man. That's all I got. We're gonna get into it more and more. Hopefully we keep ripping some packs throughout the year. We don't have to do it every episode, But when we got the funds, unless people watching want to fund the top segment on every show, maybe tops.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows?
Maybe we'll tag Mookie Betts. He could be our first guest. We do have some other guests lined up. We'll be working on that. Yeah. But maybe we'll accidentally get some players because.
Hey, Mookie, we hated the show, brother. So we made our own to make it better. No, I'm kidding.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.